Welcome to my channel, The World Coin. Hello and welcome, coin lovers. This channel is dedicated to the fascinating world of coins from every corner of the globe. From ancient currency to modern mints, rare finds to everyday coins, we explore their history, design, and hidden stories. So subscribe now and join our growing community of coin collectors, history enthusiasts, and curious minds. Here coins top 5 cents. So let's get started. The 1978 Canadian 5-cent coin is a small yet fascinating piece of numismatic history. Struck during the reign of Queen Elizabeth II, it forms part of Canada's long-standing nickel series that began in 1922. Though often referred to simply as the nickel, the coin has a rich background rooted in Canadian heritage, industry, and symbolism. The 1978 issue holds particular significance as it belongs to the pre-1982 era, before certain minting technologies and alloy compositions were altered. This coin reflects not only the economics of its time but also the enduring national pride of Canada represented through its beaver design. In 1978, Canada was experiencing a period of economic transformation. Inflation was a growing concern, and the government sought to maintain public confidence in the national currency. The 5-cent coin, though of small denomination, remained a vital part of everyday transactions, used for vending machines, public telephones, and general commerce. The coin also carried an enduring legacy. The beaver, which had been on the 5-cent piece since 1937, symbolized Canada's resourceful and industrious nature. It paid homage to the fur trade era when beaver pelts were among the most valuable commodities driving Canada's early economy. Under the rule of Queen Elizabeth II, whose portrait adorned the obverse, Canada's coinage design maintained a sense of continuity, stability, and connection to the Commonwealth. Portrait. The obverse of the 1978 5-cent coin features the young portrait of Queen Elizabeth II, designed by Arnold Machin. Designer. Arnold Machin, an accomplished sculptor from Britain, was chosen for his elegant and refined depiction of the Queen, which appeared on Canadian coins from 1965 to 1989. Elizabeth II DG Regina. This Latin phrase translates to, Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. Description. The Queen is shown wearing a tiara designed by the British jeweler Gerard, originally a wedding gift from her grandmother, Queen Mary. The image is simple and regal, reflecting the Queen's youthful dignity. Design. The reverse features an image of a beaver sitting on a rock surrounded by water. Designer. G.E. Kruger Gray, who designed the reverse in 1937. The beaver is shown in fine detail, symbolizing industry, perseverance, and the natural beauty of Canada's wilderness. The design was inspired by the importance of the beaver in Canada's history and economy. 5 cents. Denomination. Canada. Country of issue. 1978. Year of minting. A small maple leaf appears on each side of the denomination, representing Canada's national symbol. Feature detail value 5 cents, 0.05 CAD, composition 100% nickel, weight 4.54 grams, diameter 21.2 mm, thickness 1.76 mm, edge smooth, shape round, mint, Royal Canadian Mint, Ottawa. The 1978 coin was struck entirely in pure nickel, which was mined in Canada, particularly from Sudbury, Ontario, one of the world's largest nickel mining regions. This made the coin not only a monetary instrument but also a reflection of Canadian industry. Nickel's durability and corrosion resistance made it ideal for circulation coins, ensuring that 1978 nickels remain bright and intact even today. Later, in 1982, the composition shifted to a cupronickel alloy to reduce costs. Thus, the 1978 nickel represents one of the last pure nickel coins in Canada's minting history, a collectible feature for numismatists. The beaver design, introduced in 1937 by Kruger Gray, replaced the earlier image of the victory torch and maple leaves. Gray's design has become one of the most iconic in Canadian numismatics. The beaver itself is rendered with meticulous detail, emphasizing its fur, the rippling water beneath it, and the rock it rests upon. The visual composition conveys a balance of strength, peace, and industriousness, traits closely tied to Canada's national identity. The symmetry of the maple leaves flanking the denomination further enhances the artistic balance of the piece. Total mintage 1978, approximately 168 million coins were struck. The high mintage means it was a common circulation coin, yet specimens in uncirculated or proof-like condition remain sought after by collectors. Condition estimated value CAD circulated 5 cents minus 15 cents very fine, VF 20 cents minus 40 cents extremely fine, XF 50 cents minus 75 cents uncirculated, MS 60 to Mississippi 65, $1 minus $3 proof like set example $2 minus $5. Coins with strong strikes, minimal wear, and mirror-like fields from mint sets command the highest prices among collectors. The Royal Canadian Mint used high-quality nickel blanks to ensure consistency in coinage. Each blank was struck under high pressure to bring out fine details, especially in the fur of the beaver and the queen's facial features. After striking, coins were inspected for imperfections such as die cracks, planchette flaws, or weak strikes. Some minor variations exist, such as die rotations or small differences in rim thickness, which may attract specialized collectors. While 1978 is not known for major minting errors, collectors have identified a few interesting types. Die rotation error. Some coins show slight rotation between obverse and reverse designs. Planchette flaws. Small nicks or cracks from metal impurities. Double die strike. Rare instances where letters or numbers appear doubled. Though uncommon, these varieties can fetch higher prices depending on rarity and visual clarity. The beaver is not just a national animal, it's an emblem of Canada's perseverance, engineering, and harmony with nature. For centuries, beavers shaped Canada's landscape by building dams and ponds, much like how Canadians built a nation through hard work and adaptability. Queen Elizabeth II's portrait represents Canada's enduring ties to the Commonwealth and its evolution into a modern constitutional monarchy. The combination of the monarch and the beaver thus embodies the dual heritage, tradition and progress. Year Key Feature Composition Portrait 1965-1977 Young Queen 100% Nickel Machin 1978 Continuation, Stable Design 100% Nickel Machin 1982 Alloy Change Cupronicle Machin 1990 Present New Obverse Varies Dora de Pettery Hunt Susanna Blunt. Thus, the 1978 nickel sits at the end of an era of pure nickel and the enduring Machin portrait design. Collectors value this coin for historic composition, one of the final pure nickel coins. Classic design. The timeless beaver motif and early queen portrait. Durability. Resistant to wear, making high-grade examples accessible. Cultural icon. Represents Canada's natural and royal heritage. It serves as a symbolic bridge between mid-century and modern Canadian numismatics. The beaver design has appeared continuously on Canadian nickels since 1937. Canada briefly made tomback, brass 5-cent coins during World War II due to nickel shortages. The 1978 nickel, when new, could buy a stick of gum or part of a postage stamp, small but mighty in daily use. Collectors sometimes refer to these older nickels as heavy nickels because of their solid metallic composition. To preserve a 1978 5-cent coin, store in a dry, cool place to prevent oxidation. Avoid touching the coin's surface directly. Use cotton gloves. For valuable examples, use acid-free coin flips or capsules. Avoid cleaning with chemicals or abrasives, as this reduces collector value. Nickel resists tarnish but may develop a gentle patina over decades, an appealing sign of authenticity for some collectors. The 1978 Canadian 5-cent coin might appear modest, but it carries over 4 decades of history, artistry, and symbolism. It represents the enduring strength of Canada's minting tradition, the industrial pride of its nickel mines, and the continuity of its monarchy under Queen Elizabeth II. Its design, simple yet profound, reminds us that even the smallest coins can hold stories of a nation's identity, resilience, and craftsmanship. For numismatists, the 1978 nickel is more than a 5-cent piece, it's a timeless reflection of Canada's journey through the 20th century. Next video. The 1979 Canada 5-cent coin is a small yet historically significant piece of Canadian numismatic heritage, minted during a period of modern transformation within the Royal Canadian Mint. This coin carries not only the face value of 5 cents but also represents an era of economic evolution, artistry, and the long-standing connection between Canada and the British monarchy. Introduced as part of the Canadian decimal coinage system, the 5-cent coin of 1979 continues the proud legacy of the nickel, a denomination that has been part of Canadian currency since 1922. The coin is composed primarily of nickel metal 99.9% pure, which gives it a bright silvery appearance and a magnetic property distinct from other coins. The size, weight, and design were standardized to reflect the durable and practical nature of Canadian coinage. On the obverse side of the 1979 Canadian 5-cent coin, the portrait of Queen Elizabeth II is featured, designed by Arnold Machin, a British sculptor whose effigy of the Queen appeared on Canadian coins from 1965 until 1989. This version of the Queen's portrait shows her wearing a tiara, known as the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, a gift she received as a wedding present in 1947. The inscription around the effigy reads, Elizabeth II DG Regina, which stands for Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen. This title reflects Canada's constitutional monarchy and honors the Queen's role as the nation's head of state. The design captures a youthful Queen Elizabeth II, exuding dignity, grace, and continuity during a time when Canada was establishing its own independent national identity while maintaining its connection to the Commonwealth. Turning to the reverse side, we see one of the most iconic symbols of Canadian coinage, the beaver, a national emblem that represents hard work, perseverance, and the natural wilderness of Canada. The design was created by G.E. Kruger Gray and has been used on Canadian 5-cent coins since 1937. The beaver is shown sitting on a rock in the middle of a river, a detailed and naturalistic depiction that highlights the animal's industrious nature. The reverse design also includes the inscriptions, 5 cents, above and Canada 1979, below, with 2 maple leaves flanking the denomination. The initials, KG, for Kruger Gray, can be found near the base of the rock, identifying the artist's contribution. The combination of the beaver and maple leaves reinforces Canada's national identity, one tied to nature, resilience, and unity. The specifications of the 1979 5-cent coin are consistent with the modern, nickel, format that Canada had maintained for decades. It has a diameter of 21.2 millimeters, a thickness of 1.76 millimeters, and a mass of 4.54 grams. The coin has a plain, smooth edge, which differentiates it from higher denominations that feature reeded or milled edges. It was struck by the Royal Canadian Mint, located in Ottawa, Ontario, which was at that time continuously improving minting technology to produce coins with higher precision and quality. The mint mark for this coin is not explicitly displayed, as was common practice for circulation issues of that era. In terms of historical background, 1979 was a period of economic change for Canada. The country was facing inflationary pressures and energy concerns, yet the Royal Canadian Mint continued to produce high-quality coins to meet circulation demands. The 5-cent coin remained one of the most common coins in daily use, symbolizing small but essential transactions. Nickel, being both durable and resistant to corrosion, was the perfect material choice for a coin expected to last decades in circulation. Interestingly, the 1979 nickel is part of a long tradition that began when Canada transitioned from silver-based to nickel-based 5-cent coins in 1922. Before that, Canadian 5-cent pieces were smaller and made of silver, similar to half-dimes of earlier eras. The adoption of nickel reflected not only practicality but also Canada's pride in being one of the world's major producers of nickel, particularly from the mines of Sudbury, Ontario. The mintage of the 1979 5-cent coin was quite substantial, as millions were produced for circulation. This makes it a common coin in the numismatic sense, but that does not diminish its collectible value for those interested in Canadian coinage history. Coins that have survived in uncirculated or proof-like condition are particularly desirable, as they retain their original luster, sharpness of design, and detail. In mint state grades Mississippi 60 and above, the 1979 nickel can command a modest premium, especially when free from scratches, dullness, or corrosion. Proof-like and specimen versions, struck with specially polished dies, were produced for collectors and often sold in sets by the Royal Canadian Mint. The artistic and symbolic significance of the beaver design cannot be understated. The beaver has deep roots in Canadian history. It was a key player in the fur trade that shaped the nation's early economy and exploration. By the 20th century, the beaver had come to symbolize industriousness and national pride, appearing not just on coins but also on official emblems and corporate logos. The choice to keep this design for over 4 decades speaks to the enduring value of tradition in Canadian culture. From a collectible and investment perspective, the 1979 Canadian 5-cent coin holds moderate numismatic interest. Its true value lies in its condition and presentation. A circulated coin typically holds face value, but coins in higher grades, such as brilliant uncirculated BU or proof-like PL, can be valued anywhere from 20 cents to $2 CAD, while certified examples in top condition may fetch higher prices from collectors seeking to complete date runs. For coin enthusiasts, it represents a tangible connection to Canada's economic and artistic history, making it an affordable yet meaningful collectible. The cultural legacy of this coin extends beyond its monetary function. It symbolizes a chapter of Canadian life where physical coins were central to commerce and daily interactions, paying for candy, newspapers, or small items in corner shops. Today, with the rise of digital transactions, coins like the 1979 nickel carry nostalgic value, reminding Canadians of simpler times and the tactile experience of handling real money. It also serves as a reminder of the era's craftsmanship and the Royal Canadian Mint's role in preserving both artistry and precision in national coinage. In conclusion, the 1979 Canadian 5-cent coin is much more than a small metallic disc. It is a piece of national heritage representing Canada's enduring connection to its monarchy, its natural environment, and its industrious spirit. The obverse honors Queen Elizabeth II's dignified reign, while the reverse immortalizes the beaver, an emblem of hard work and the rugged beauty of Canada's wilderness. Together, they create a balance of sovereignty and symbolism that continues to define Canadian coinage. Whether held as a keepsake, studied by numismatists, or admired for its design, this coin remains a shining example of how even the smallest denomination can carry immense historical and cultural significance. Country: Canada. Year: 1979. Denomination: 5 cents. Composition: 99.9% nickel. Weight: 4.54 grams. Diameter: 21.2 millimeters. Thickness: 1.76 millimeters. Edge: plain. Obverse designer: Arnold Machin. Reverse designer: G.E. Kruger Gray. Obverse design: Queen Elizabeth II. Reverse design: Beaver on rock with maple leaves. Mint: Royal Canadian. Mint, Ottawa. Mintage: tens of millions. Common circulation issue. Value range: face value to around $2 CAD depending on condition. So please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. A new coin story awaits you every next day.